presented by Medica. With a Medica health plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. And by Liberty First Credit Union, banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com.
And we have half the field already set for the semifinals in C2. UTAN and Norfolk Catholic have advanced on, and now we bring you the next two games. With Bergan, the defending state champion, taking on Pender. Valentine will then take on Freeman. And you've really got somebody different here in this one, Lou. You have got a Norfolk Catholic team that last year came in as the 8th seed and won a state title. Now they're the favorite, number 1 in our NCN rankings, even though they're the 2 seed. And you got a Pender team that hasn't been here since their dad's, 1992. Definitely a different style, but Pender knows how to win because their girls were here last week getting it done.
Well, I think it's interesting with, as far as Archbishop Bergan goes, last year they were the hunter. Now they're the hunted. But with all that talent coming back from last year, this is really, I think, the team to beat. They're the number 2 seed. But with everybody coming back from last year's state championship team, they're playing really well. Only 1 loss on the year. They're going to be a tough out.
Well, let's take a look at some of the great players that are on these two teams. And let's start with Archbishop Bergan. And you go to the big guy in the middle, Gavin Baker. I mean, his dad was awesome. And we joke about dads and moms and the lineage that has on. But Gavin Baker is going to be a presence inside.
Well, 6'7", he's a problem, right? And he's a good, not only a good low post scorer, but he's a really good defender in that paint. I think that's where it's going to stand out. Pender's going to have to be efficient, and I think find ways to score outside of the paint if they're going to beat Archbishop Bergan. Baker is such a matchup problem, I think, today for Pender.
And it's always good to be the coach's kid, usually, and that's what we've got for Pender, Xander Welsh.
Well, Welsh is just a smart player. I mean, he's a scorer, he's a distributor, he does everything well. He's kind of the quarterback of this Pender team. I think he's got to be good, he's got to be efficient today for Pender to hang with Archbishop Bergan.
Should be a good one. We've had some good basketball already here today. We'll be back and get you set, take a look at the starting lineups and more as we get ready for Pender and Archbishop Bergan here on NCN.
My name is Andrina, and his name is Asaya. I am an international student from Malawi. When I got here, I was in a relationship, and we found out that I was pregnant. So I chose life. And that's a really good thing in my life, because then God also did great things. And yeah, we're making it in life together.
Pregnant and unsure where to turn? Contact Christian Family Care, cfcare.org.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The AGI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Dylan Bryce, Scott Pullman, or Brandon Ruki. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information.
The pregame show is sponsored by Custom Sports. Look great for every game with custom team or business apparel from Custom Sports.
Throughout the season, over 1,000 games were played across.
Well, every team has a story of a super fan. Whether it's someone who's just very excited about a certain program, maybe there's kids on the team. Well, Archbishop Bergan and Bergan Catholic has a really cool story of a super fan, and it comes in the story of the Snelson family. Mark and Mary Snelson didn't have kids that went to Bergan Catholic, but they just fell in love with the school and fell in a relationship with many of the kids. So much so that Mark was one that would go up to the kids and say, hey, if you make your free throws, if you make your three-point shots, and if you don't foul out, well, I'm going to hand you a nice Snickers bar after the game is done. So Mark has been carrying on this tradition for a long, long time. Well, unfortunately, Mark passed away right before sub-district play. His wife, Mary, is keeping the legacy alive. She continues to hand out these Snickers bars after the game if the kids are making their threes, their free throws, and not fouling out. So you can get one of these Snickers bars if you're playing well for Bergan Catholic. But that's not just it. Mark was so much more to the team than a super fan. He was a family member. And take a look at some of these warm-ups, these T-shirts that the kids are wearing. They say, still cheering, I am with you always, with the initial MS for Mark Snelson. A verse from Matthew 28:20 about Jesus telling his disciples to continue the Great Commission. What an incredible story from the Snelson family. Mary's keeping Mark's legacy alive. We have more coverage from the state basketball tournament, Bergan Catholic and Pender, coming up next on News Channel Nebraska.
It's the Declaration of Deal sales event. Head to William Crowder Company in O'Neill, your trusted Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealership with the selection you want and the service you deserve. From powerful new Ram trucks to adventurous Jeeps and family-ready SUVs. William Crowder Company is also your local marine center, featuring Lund boats built for fishing, fun, and making memories on the water, with several options for the serious fisherman or woman. William Crowder Company in O'Neill. Drive it, tow it, boat it, and love it.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Wayne State College, devoted to student success for more than 100 years. And by Crotter Auto, William Crowder Company and Crotter Home Center in O'Neill, Nebraska.
Getting ready for our next doubleheader here, session 2 of the day, if you will. Let's take a look at the schools that are going to be playing here as Bergan and Pender getting ready to play in this C2 state quarterfinal. We take a look at these teams. You might think that they're in the same general area of the state, and they are. They're in the eastern third of the state. And for Bergan, obviously, right there in Fremont, they have brought home 5 state championships, including last year. They've been to the state tournament 18 times. This will be number 19 for Bergan Catholic as the Knights try to get things done here again. And last time they'd won it back in 14, an 11-year drought. Now you got Pender, as we said. They've not won a state championship. They've looked for a chance to get into the finals. They've been here 5 times, but the first time since 1992, Lou. So I know there's probably some stories back there in Pender that it might be the boys' time to join the girls.
Yeah, they would certainly like to do that. I mean, the girls have been dominant. This is a good basketball team. It's one of those teams that they play well within themselves. They don't beat themselves, and that's what's going to happen today to hang with the Knights. You're going to have to be, there's my friend, the Pender Pendragon, but they're going to have to be really solid in all areas, I think, to win this game today.
Well, let's see how these teams made it here to the state tournament as we continue to kind of tweak the format throughout the state. For Bergan, they were able to defeat Shelby Rising City and Tri-County in the sub-districts, and then defeated Crofton in the district final. And for Pender, they were able to get here by defeating Ainsworth and Hartington Newcastle, and then had to make the bounce out to Kimball. We'll talk more about that with Valentine later on, because Valentine actually had to go to Kimball for their sub-districts. But as you see here in C2, obviously heavy clouded in the eastern part of the state, and Valentine, our western team. But now that you crisscross the state, it's not like it used to be where 8 teams from 8 different regions of the state make it here.
Yeah, I like the way they've got it set up now, because generally speaking, the best teams make it. I mean, you get the opportunity, if you do lose in your sub-district, to play in a district final if you have enough power points.
Well, our pregame action brought to you here on News Channel Nebraska Television, brought to you by Custom Sports, the pregame, and Custom Sports, from screen printed t-shirts to jerseys. They have what your team needs to look great. Check them out at customsportsco.com. We'll be back with a look at the starting lineups in a moment.
When quality matters, it starts at Scotty's Ranchland Foods in Valentine. They're known for the highest quality beef, carefully aged to perfection, alongside fresh, vibrant produce, and a deli famous for fresh, never frozen fried chicken. It's quality you can see. Home of Scotty's Meat RX. Scotty's Ranchland Foods in Valentine, Nebraska. A better cut every time.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Family Physical Therapy and Sports Center, getting you back in the game. Ignite the fire and find peace. And by The Seed House in O'Neill, Nebraska, a seed for every need.
My family's been farming since the early 1900s, and it's still where we like to call home. I get to go out to the field. I get to see farmers. When they have someone that actually experienced it, they're more willing to open up and talk to you a lot more. They just kind of become a part of you.
My name is Ava Stewart, and I'm from Newcastle, Nebraska. My faith is significant for me and my everyday life. And a lot of that is because my parents have raised me in my faith very well. Whether I'm giving a speech, I take a deep breath, say a prayer right before I go out, or if it's the set point in a volleyball game. It's every unique moment that I have to remind myself that God is there and that the Holy Spirit is with me.
Visit with your local priest or pastor. A simple conversation can be the first step to discover the peace that comes from faith.
When your plumbing needs attention, trust the experts at John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical. No matter the size of the job, John Henry's brings extensive expertise to handle everything your home's plumbing system requires. So whether your drain is clogged, your water heater needs an upgrade, or you want to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, we're here for you. Reach out to us today and discover why, since 1996, we've proudly served families as the most reliable plumbing company in the Lincoln area. John Henry's, our family serving yours since 1996.
It's not just about the shoe. It's about your fit.
What sets Fleet Feet aside from everything else that we've experienced is my girls being runners. They have very different needs. And so that technology with the scanning and the personal touches is just unmatched. I met Lori almost 16 years ago, and when I saw Lori open this, I knew there was no other place that I wanted to go to have someone help me with my footwear and everything else involved with running. Fleet Feet doesn't just fit your shoes, they fit your life.
Fleet Feet Lincoln. Find your fit today.
Behind every switch you flip, innovation is at work. NPPD is using advanced technology to generate and deliver the reliable energy you have come to expect. Like AI-driven platforms to optimize energy generation, drones for infrastructure inspection, advanced metering for faster outage detection, and helping advance carbon capture and sequestration technologies. It's not just electricity we are delivering, it's innovation. Powering the state, empowering your life. Nebraska Public Power District.
And here are the officials for today's basketball game. You may recognize some of them. Of course, Curtis Carlson on the right, Chris Marachik in the middle, and Kevin Marr, a longtime official in the Omaha metro area. And if Kevin looks familiar, and maybe not just from high school basketball, he was the referee in the Rose Bowl this last year. So wow. What an honor for him, one of the top officials, does a majority of his work in the Big 12 Conference.
That's pretty impressive.
He has done a lot of basketball. All of these guys have, so there you go. All right. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. First off for Pender, number 1, 6-foot senior is Trevor Trimble. Number 22, 5'10" senior Jake Schuster. Number 24, 6'1" senior Carter Hansen. Number 25, 5'11" junior Xander Welsh. He is one of the two leading scorers with Trimble. And then Ryan Kruger, 6'1" senior, wears number 44. The head coach is Andy Welsh, assisted by Shane Schuster and Larry Bollinger there. 22-5 on the season. Now we'll take a look at the starting lineup here for the Bergan Catholic Knights. Number 1, 6'2" junior is Trey Mooney. Number 3, 6'1" junior is Cale Sheets. Number 5, 6'2" junior is Gavin Dean. Number 15, the 6'2" junior, Trent Molnaric. And at number 42, the lone senior starter, is the man we talked about, 6'7" senior, Gavin Baker. Ryan Molnaric is the head coach. Matt Sleister, Brady Davis, Chris Rainforth, and Grant Frickenstein, the assistants. 25-1 for Bergan. Their only loss was to Omaha Concordia, a Centennial Conference foe of Bergan. And what a run they've had coming off that state championship last year.
Well, as the 8th seed, I remember doing the game against Freeman. They were able to knock off the number 1 seed Freeman. And before that, they won in the district final over Norfolk Catholic. So they kind of, in a way, came out of nowhere, but played great basketball, bring everybody back. That's such a big thing, and the continuity of the with the underclassmen coming in. And like I say, I no disrespect at all to UTAN. They're a great basketball team, but I think Archbishop Bergan is the team right now that would be the odds-on favorite.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Number 1 in our rankings, 25-1 on the season. We have already seen UTAN, the actual number 1 seed, move on here in the tournament, but we are ready for basketball. The home white and that green trim for Bergan. Pender, all red with the white trim. And we are ready for state tournament basketball. Continuing coverage. Doug and Lou here with you. Kalen taking care of the sidelines on News Channel Nebraska Television. And we are underway as Chris Baracha puts the ball in the air. No surprise that Bergan's going to win the opening toss here with that height advantage. And how much, as they come out of a man-to-man, Lou, can we see this battle of big guys down low?
Yeah, Krieger against Baker inside. Baker's got about 5-6 inches on him.
And immediately they get it down to him, but stripped from behind. Xander Welsh gets a hand on it. Fast break the other way. Collision, they'll call the charge. They'll call the charge on Kruger. And a big call early on when you've got that battle of big men. You know how hard it's going to be inside with them hanging on each other all game long, and you get an early foul.
Tremendous job by Baker that time in transition defense to get back, not only get back, but get set and draw that charge.
All right, Bergan with their second opportunity. Going to take the deep three ball here. That's no good. Three from Sheets. And Pender on the outlet. They want to move the basketball up the floor. Gets through their hands that time of Hansen. And another turnover this time for Pender. Second shot in a row here. Inside, 3 shots in a row now from Sheets. Can't connect. There's the putback.
Baker with those long arms, Doug, it's going to be difficult. Got to put a body on him. He's just too active inside, too athletic. Can't allow him to patrol without anybody leaning on him.
Well, you take a look at him, and what a job he does inside for this basketball team. Pender, Norfolk Catholic having to fill in some roles from last year. That's why they got so many juniors in the starting lineup. That might be one of the advantages for Pender. 4 seniors in that starting lineup. Get through this first quarter. Drive it on the shot clock and finish for Xander Welsh. So both of our key players have the first buckets of the ball game.
Welsh did a nice job breaking down the nicer off the dribble.
Another turnover here for Bergan. Over into media row. And they'll have to pick that basketball up again. Pender backs in. Little turnaround jumper. Catches the rim but won't come back in.
Trumbull, who just took that shot, one of those seniors for this Pender team. He's a quality player. He'll need to play well today also.
Ball lobbed inside. Ooh, missed it. And a defensive rebound, and they are going to Baker, to Baker, to Baker, to Baker. There is no surprise on what they're trying to do. Pull-up jumper at the free throw line. Trimble trying to get active. No offensive rebound. And what a block off the glass. Baker swatting Trimble away. And Bergan into the front court. Looks to transition for a 3-ball. And get it. Cale Sheets. He's already got quite a few shots up in the air.
We just saw what makes Gavin Baker so special. That athleticism, his ability to block shots, changed the way Pender thinks offensively.
For a tie in the corner. The right corner 3 is no good. And Molnaric brings down the rebound. You've got Molnaric, father and son on one side, and you got Welsh on the other. There's a little off-balance jumper that comes up short. Got the foul, though. Our first quarter brought to you by Yankton Medical Clinic, Norfolk, building a legacy one patient at a time, one generation at a time. From family practice to expert specialists, here for you today and every day, Yankton Medical Clinic of Norfolk.
Well, Doug Sheets knocks down that free throw. That's significant because free throw shooting has been a problem. Even going back to the girls' state tournament, we saw Norfolk Catholic really struggle, even though they won, struggle mightily from the free throw line.
Yeah, it's already in the games today, and I think some of it's just transition from the guys. Shooting percentage has been better this morning than it was last week. Free throw shooting a little bit better as well. There's a lot of contact down low, and nothing but the ball going out of bounds on the block shot from Gavin Dean. Let's watch the replay.
Yeah, Dean stays with him, times that jump pretty well. A lot of times when you swat down on it like that, you get that foul called. Dean did a good job there. It did look like all ball. Oh, they did call.
They did call. We didn't hear the whistle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that follow through. Anymore, you see a lot of them where they just put the palm on the head and say, you know what, everything was good, but he followed through and whacked him on the head. Seen that more this year than ever.
Mentioned Trevor Trimble earlier. He's a guy, again, that can make things happen offensively for Pender.
And drains both of the free throws here. Gavin Baker was getting back to him. 21.5 points, 8 rebounds a game. 3 in the corner again. Sheets it. It's going to be short that time. Baker gets another rebound, steps through, and scores. We got a lot of officials behind us and on the other side. We've had pushing off, we've had travel, we've had foul, and we're only 3 minutes into the ball game. And there's a hand check foul on the way to the hoop by Trent Molnaric.
Well, you know, the Pender faithful would really like to see Gavin Baker pick up a few fouls. But for Pender, you got to find him. You got to put a body on him. And here's that drive by Welsh. But he's so active underneath there. You can't forget about him for a second. Otherwise, he'll hurt you.
Our replay brought to you by Lincoln Airport. Fly easy, fly local, fly LNK. One thing is, both teams can use some players off the bench, and we're already seeing that here in the first quarter. But Pender's actually kind of produce offensively, where you got more role players for Bergan. And one of those right now is Nolan Paulson, but he loses the basketball, race to the other end. Sheets lets him go, missed the layup. Sheets played it as good as he could. Now numbers coming the other way for Bergan. Beautiful dish off, another contact. Ooh, and this time a block. And boy, see, both of those block charges went Bergan's way and not Pender's way. And so you know who's not happy with this one.
Well, Pender misses one on that one end, and then the other end, Archbishop Bergan with the fast break. They had numbers. Tried to draw the charge there on Molnaric, but you're right, Doug, they did not get the call. And
we get the benefit of the replay. I would have to agree with the Pender fans on that one. Those look identical.
Yeah, that's why I'm not officiating, because those are very difficult calls.
That's why most officials don't wear glasses. They're just asking for trouble. Can't complete the and one of the rebound brought down here by Grant Geiser. 7-point lead early on here for Bergan. And as you can hear, Pender coach Andy Welsh say, get moving. He wants them moving without the basketball. Good backdoor cut, but dropped the basketball, so they'll have to reset it. Bergan's man-to-man. A lot of this for Pender so far has been transition. They've had to milk the shot clock 3 different times, and they've got it again. The free block. Even if Pender grabs this, they're going to have to throw one up, which they do, and no good, boy. You knock that down, and it just takes away the great defensive effort from Bergan. But Baker gets the board, and here come the Knights.
Baker's not only patrolling the paint, he's getting out there and blocking three-point shots as well.
Playing hard here in the first quarter for a team that averages 67 points a game. Number 1 in the state. Backing away and ball knocked away again. That's the second poke away in the ball game for Xander Welsh. Now can Pender do something with it? We talked about the 67 one-way. Pender gets you about 55 a game. Some of that all depends on transition buckets and three-point shooting. But boy, this defense from Bergan really forcing the issue, and a three-pointer for Trevor Trimble will help out the Penn Dragons.
That was good ball movement that time. Left Trimble open there at the three-point line.
So cut it to 4 here. Back down to the big boy again. He decides to make the pass and nothing there. Turnover.
I think that's where you want the big fella to shoot that basketball. I'm trying to make that extra pass. But again, they're going to him early and often. At 6'7", his ability to get over the defense, you want him to take that shot.
You know, Lou, I think it's safe to say of our whole NCN crew, we may be the elder statesmen here.
Yeah, a couple old guys over here.
You just don't see, even in A, 6'8", 6'9", 6'10". You used to see them all over the place in the 70s and 80s, and you just don't see it. So 6'7" is like a gargantuan at any level anymore. Fadeaway jumper knocked down by Xander Welsh. So back-to-back buckets, all of a sudden we got a 2-point game.
So you're saying we don't see Dave Hoppins anymore, huh?
No, we don't. No, we don't. So time to get Baker involved. Backed in, kicks it out in the right-hand corner, dribbled out of bounds. So some early turnovers here. Bergan's either scoring or turning it over. That is their 6th turnover here in the first quarter.
Yeah, they're struggling right now, and that helps Pender. Again, Pender's not a team that's not generally going to beat themselves. And you got a great player, active player like Baker, that can be a difference maker for Pender. I think the difference is playing as a team. We saw some great ball movement a moment ago.
A good poke away there by Trey Moody, and we're going to get the old jump ball. Arrow pointing the way up, Pender. They've got a chance to actually take the lead here. It seemed like they kind of been being outplayed, but those turnovers have definitely evened the playing field here in this first quarter.
Yeah, that comes so big in state tournament basketball because you're playing good teams no matter if it's 1 or 8 or whatever it is. And the turnovers can really be an equalizer.
There's a give and go inside and a foul. Will send Ryan Kruger to the line. Class A also going on today. Omaha West Side an early 11-8 lead over Lincoln High. Lincoln High, another one of those teams that was somewhat of a surprise to get to the state tournament, upsetting Creighton Prep, and Prep had to use the wild card to get here. And it's a little different in every class. A and B, still you finish up your districts. Now anymore, a lot of states call it sub-state. When you're in the Sweet 16, that's it. You got to win or go home. And a lot of these teams who played a week ago Saturday have had 10, 11 days off the way that they have played. A lot of breaks. Sometimes it's taken a while to get going. Games I've seen this morning so far, Lou, though, look pretty good.
I think if you're winning basketball, you want to keep playing. You don't want that time off unless you've got a lot of injuries or something that you're trying to heal out. But if you're playing well, you want to keep playing.
So 1 of 2 at the line. Little 6-0 run here by the Penn Dragons to cut it to 11-10. Off the ball screen, Paulson. A little crossover, ankle breaker, three-pointer. That's a highlight reel one for Kevin Dean. When you can get the defender to fall down and then stick a jump shot right in their face. Snaps that 6-0 run, 14-10.
Got to hit those shots when you got a defender on the ground.
I think I fell down enough. I came up with enough smart, coy things to say to the ball player, saying, hold on, wait, I'll be there in a minute, and then you can burn me.
I just fell down so I could untie their shoes.
As we approach the 1-minute mark here in quarter number 1, Pender hanging around so far in this 2-7 matchup. Again, tried the pick and roll, but that was well defended. A great job by Kruger to save the possession. 5 on the shot clock, though. Sometimes you forget about that. They'll swing it back over. Kruger just throws it up, and look at this. That's not going to count even if it went in because it bounced up and hit the shot clock. But, hey, he got it up. He got that shot up in the air. Sometimes when you get in that scramble, you forget about the shot clock. You just go, okay, it's reset. We're doing this now. And you see that every once in a while.
That's where guys have to communicate and pay attention. But, yeah, not a great set there for Pender. They don't have the shot clock violation, but force a really tough shot.
Well, stutter dribble, drive right side of the key, spin move, kick out on the left wing. Will have to take a shot here. 11 seconds between the shot and game clock. Good defense down low. Getting a handle of that basketball was Trimble, and that forced the missed shot. So Pender can play for one. It looks like Coach Welsh wants him to.
We mentioned Trimble with that block. Trimble is probably the best on-ball defender on this Pender team.
Get it down to the low block, double teamed. They don't want to shoot it yet anyway. Coach Welsh saying, get that ball back out here. Still against the man-to-man isolation for Trimble. Trimble's going to take it to the rack. He's going to lay it up. There's still time here, though, for Bergan. Bergan midcourt with 5. Chance here for Trey Mooney. And he's got to kick it out. The throw at the horn is good by Cale Sheets. And that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter of play. An entertaining first 8 minutes. And it's Bergan, the defending state champion, leading Pender 17-12 on NCN. Look at the way. I didn't think they were going to have enough time. But he knew, Sheets knew, catch and shoot. And he knocks it down. 5-point lead at the end of 1.
Well, I think like many people, I just had some life events that happened. Just really felt lost, quite honestly, completely broken. And, next thing I know, with how depression can settle in, I was contemplating suicide. I told God that I was sorry, that I just can't bear this anymore. Thankfully, my dog came up and started looking me in the face. And that was that spark that I needed to kind of talk myself off the ledge. So thankful that I took that split second to say something to God.
The Seed House, located in O'Neill, is your Nebraska-owned full-service seed supplier. From corn and soybeans to cover crops, grass seed, and CRP grasses, they have the full lineup to fit your operation. The Seed House also offers agronomy services, seed treatment, soil fertility guidance, and expert crop recommendations tailored to your acres. When it comes to growing success from the ground up, trust local experience. Contact Don and the crew at the Seed House, located in O'Neill, Nebraska, and plant with confidence this season.
Bergan shooting 60% from three-point land, 50% overall in that first quarter. And they have the ball to start things here, trying to bookend the threes, and how about it? Wow. Kale Sheets to end the first and start the second, and all of a sudden an 8-point game. And Pender throws it away. Boy, just in a foul. I think I just throw it to Sheets again here.
Yeah, why not? Find that hot hand. It was 14-12 like seconds ago. Now it's 20-12. 2 3-pointers has extended that lead.
Just turns it so quickly. On the other side, 31% in the first quarter for Pender out there. And Sheets now with 11 points to lead the way for Bergan. And you have Trevor Trimble with 7 points to lead the way for Pender. Off the screen, stepping in, little contact, throws it off the window, no good. Rebounding, 7 for Pender. That would be number 8, 9 for Bergan. Turnovers, though, kind of a big number, 6-4. The last couple of turnovers coming from Pender, including right there on the opening possession of quarter number 2. So they just need to steady themselves, get a bucket here. 8 points isn't the end of the world. Spin move, off balance, blocked. Getting a hand on it is Molnarek. Fast break, layup, good.
I tell you what, Doug, Bergan runs that fast break about as well as anybody. They fill lanes, they're quick, pass the ball well, and you see what that end result is. That's a lay-in.
You've got to be a smart basketball player. You got to know where your teammate's going to be, and your teammate has to be good enough to be there so you can get it up the floor that quickly. And an 8-0 run here, as you said, Lou. Now it's a 10-point ball game. Key here for Pender, don't force it. And to get in this half court, they've ate a lot of shot clock, and a deep three is well off the mark. How about an offensive rebound and a foul to go along with it? That foul will be on Trey Mooney, and that will be his first personal foul. Our second quarter is brought to you by John Henry's. Our family serving you. John Henry's, longtime sponsor of all of the sports that we bring you, high school, collegiately, and now professionally on NCM.
For Pender to stay in the game, if you're going to run the half-court sets and run time off the clock, you've got to be efficient. You have to guard against that fast break. You got to release because Bergan's looking to run.
Well, if you're Pender right now, you want to get the ball inside, but you're just having a tremendous problem with Baker defensively guarding Kruger. So Kruger's going to back into him, and Harper Murray just showed up.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Baker jumps about as quick as anybody at 6'7". I mean, he kind of went a little bit for the shot fake, went down and came back up, still blocked that shot. That is tremendous athletic ability down low.
And don't want to mislead the fans that don't know much about Pender. Kruger only averages 9 points a game, and he pulls down 8 rebounds. So third leading scorer on the team. And here we go again with that shot clock. And that's going to be partially blocked. Let's see if the official got that. That's out of bounds. Yeah, it should be Pender ball, but the shot clock would have ran out.
Yep.
So because of the shot clock, it would be Bergan ball anyway. Two minutes into this second quarter, Pender still looking for some points. An 8-0 run right now by Bergan. And another long three. Can the big boy? No, can't knock it down. That would really give you problems.
Yeah.
If your 6'7" post starts knocking down threes in your face. Transition again. Pender has it knocked away in between the double team. Gavin Dean. And we run the other way. Here's Sheets. Finds a way with the 2. No, Baker with the follow. And we're going to call a foul on the Baker putback. So 2 free throws on the putback.
You see how quick that Bergan runs that. I mean, once that turnover's in their possession, they run the floor. And that's a great job there by Baker on that opposite side. Again, I've said it several times. You anticipate the miss, you run the floor, get in position. Baker does that as well as anybody, gets the putback.
I think you're seeing the development of that at all levels now. You're watching it in college. I think they're getting it taught in camps and so much more. Saw it a lot in the girls' tournament. A to B to C. And you might turn it over once in a while, but you're going to get more, if you're good, you're going to get more layups than you are turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, 23-12. Pender now down by 11, trying to find a way to unlock their offense here. Back cut, still tough, can't get the shot. When you get a back cut and can't get the layup, tough gig. Can't get the and one, but going to the line will be Xander Welsh on the foul.
Like something Pender needs to do is, as we've seen it a few times, is just take the ball off the dribble, and especially when you got Baker, try to pull him away from the basket and open up that lane a little bit. But you have to attack Welsh. She does a good job there and makes that first free throw. But again, if you're Pender, you're going to run more of a slower approach offensively. You have to be efficient on that offensive end.
And that baby's up and in. A little help from the glass. Don't forget at halftime, stay tuned for our highlights brought to you by Sauter Heyman Jewelers. And we've already had some really nice highlights, and they're not all offensively so far in this game. Sheets bookending the first and second quarter with some threes. Baker with some good block shots. Pender, a couple of nice plays, but just haven't been able to find the field goals here in the quarter. There's good defense by the Penn Dragons. They're going to come out of there with the basketball. Great job down low by Pender to not allow an open shot. A three would help, and a three it is. And a timeout after it, knocking it down, Carter Hansen. We've got a timeout on the floor after the made bucket. So 11 cut down to 6 here after back-to-back buckets. 23-17 Bergan. You're watching C2 quarterfinal action of the Boys State Tournament on NCN.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil. Stop at your nearest Speedy Mart or good-to-go convenience stores today. And by The Carpet Shop, providing quality residential and commercial floor covering and installation for almost 50 years.
My family's been farming since the early 1900s, and it's still where we like to call home. I get to go out to the field. I get to see farmers. When they have someone that actually experienced it, they're more willing to open up and talk to you a lot more. They just kind of become a part of you.
Well, you just got some interesting notes here from both of these coaches as we take a look at what they've been able to do with Coach Molnarek back at his alma mater, coaching his kids, wanting that opportunity to do that. So he's getting that opportunity as the shot is going to draw a foul here and send Trey Mooney to the line here. But, at Blair for 5 years, then Omaha North, knew things were coming well, and then here we go. Wanted to come back to Bergan, and here he is.
Worked out pretty well.
Yeah, no doubt. And then for Pender, second stint here for Coach Welsh. Third time in his second stint, and has coached a number of times trying to get this team turned around. Kalen's talking about it, the number of wins that they have had in the last 3 years compared to like the 10 years before that.
Yeah, Pender boys there for a little while were kind of an afterthought with the girls being so good, but they found their way back here to the state tournament. And I've been able to cover them a few times this year. This is a solid team.
I'm going to tell you what, I'm also kind of hungry for a Snickers.
Yeah, there you go.
That's cool. That's cool by Bergan and their fans and the family of March Nelson. That's pretty cool. Our thoughts and condolences to his family. But there are so many communities that have couples like the Schlensons. You know what? Either didn't have kids or their kids graduated so long ago, and they just keep attending, they keep volunteering, they keep supporting. And that's what makes high school sports so great at all levels.
Absolutely. That was a great story.
Pull-up jumper good. Trey Mooney. And they're just hitting shots. Bergan's hitting shots. And they're up by 8. Pender on the fast break. Working around. But good defense down low. The big boys shut him down. Good ball fake. Baseline. Scoop shot. Up and over. And the layup is good.
Got that one up over Baker, which is saying something.
Yeah, it's hard to do. Great job, Pender. Now maybe trading buckets here. 27-19. As Hansen floats in there and Carter gets a bucket. Another three in the corner. He's got to get up. Two-hand shove.
Yeah.
Always love the reaction of the players. What? Sorry, Alex Cruz. You two-hand shoved him right in the back trying to get position.
Yeah, that was a foul an old blind guy like me could see.
Let's call your own fouls. Going, hey, whoa. All right, can Bergan's pressure continue to cause turnovers? My question is answered immediately. Bergan got really lucky there, too. Mooney, and no fault of his own, would have been an over and back by about an inch there, but he kept his toe and not his heel on the ground. Ball fake corner starting to bite on those threes from Sheets after he hit a few in the first quarter of play. There's Sheets again, right corner three. Gosh, he looks good. He just looks good. He's 4 of 7 from deep and has 14 points. Oh, and they're going to knock away that layup by the reach-in foul.
Mooney reached in from behind and almost got a steal there. Offensively, Doug, it's been really problematic because Pender had Lane Kelly at 5'10" on Baker, giving up 9 inches. That's tough down low. But they were able to double him quickly, but then Bergan, they get the pass back out from Baker, and they're knocking down threes. That's a very difficult offense to slow down.
Well, this press is bothering Pender. But once you get it inside, if you can get that ball inside, you get a chance to get to the line here. If you break that press, then you attack, and maybe that helps Pender a little bit. But, of course, with Baker in there, even if it's 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, you got a little bit of trouble. Don't forget to join us for the halftime show brought to you by RMV Construction. Trusted, local, proven. RMV Construction located in Kearney and here in the capital city of Lincoln.
If you don't like that pressure, you not only have to break it, you have to attack on the other end. And you have to score. Try to force Bergan to back off a little bit.
Second free throw, in and out. So it was 11. Pender got back-to-back buckets to cut it to 6. Now Bergan back to 11 with the basketball with 2:40 to go. The old Euro step, wrap around, layup good. Pender wanted to double dribble, even the coach asking the official for the call, didn't get it. And the biggest lead of the game right now, 13. Kick in the backcourt. I'm just so intrigued a little bit by, you pull up and you look at the stats for Pender girls, and it's like 3 pages long. And the Pender boys, not only is this their first trip to state since '92, they have never won a state tournament basketball game in their 5 previous appearances. In fact, none of the schools that they have played are still technically in existence. Loop City is in a co-op with Arcadia Loop City, Niobrara, Dannebrog, Atkinson St. Joseph, and Shelby. So either they're consolidated or they no longer exist. Pender would love to change that, but they've got some work to do here and see if they can cut into this in the final 2 minutes before halftime. And there's a good off-balance jumper by Carter Hansen. I'll tell you, we're talking about Gavin Baker, but Milnerick is kind of the second part of this whole thing down there. He's 6'2", but he looks like he's about 6'5" in there when you're standing next to the big guy. And if you're not running into Baker, you're running into Trent.
Yeah, he's got long arms and got good length.
Bergan ball underneath. Power move by the man we just talked about. Milnerick lays it up and in. And too easy that time for Bergan off the inbound. Extend that lead to 13. Don't forget our next game here, Valentine taking on Freeman. Valentine kind of like Pender, been a while. Short jumper in the paint, comes up short and a foul. Lou, I was just talking about maybe Pender making a run here before halftime. They're going to make sure it doesn't go the other way. They don't want this thing to go from 12 to 20 before halftime.
Yeah, and it certainly could. And that's a frustration foul there from Xander Welsh. And those are the fouls, you know, we talk about that a lot, too, is those fouls can come back and haunt you later. But you're right, Doug. This is a danger time right now for Pender. Down 13, the last thing you want is for Bergan to go on a run here.
You know, they'll pull Baker out of the paint. That usually means a curl. Into the right-hand corner, Sheets fakes the 3, drives, little floater, no good. Offensive rebound, back up and in. And how can you blame them? Those offensive rebounds, they're supposed to have the advantage, and they're showing it.
And Lenard should have a pretty good day because they're so worried about Baker. He's kind of left one-on-one.
Pull up 3 in transition, and the high archer finds the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for Carter Hansen.
And Hansen's hit a couple of three-pointers here.
And a hand check foul out top. Both teams are in the bonus, so we should be shooting free throws here. A lot coming up at the half. We'll give you our highlights. We'll give you a quick look at our stats. Kaylin's got a pretty neat story on Pender the week after their 4th consecutive girls basketball championship. And at the line to shoot 2 will be Trey Mooney. And the first one's good.
Yeah, Bergan not having any problems at the free throw line here.
enjoying the drumming behind us?
Yeah, wonderful.
Second free throw is good. Why do we need to talk? We got entertainment.
Just wonder if that Pendragon has any eligibility left. He could use his size.
His hands are too low.
Yeah,
he's going to get tied up. Got to get those hands up where his shoulders are. Then we got a ball player. I witnessed the Pendragon getting dressed last week. That's quite a harness that they have to put on under there to get that thing going. You know what officials don't like? Coaches complaining up double digits. But that's really the first time I've seen Coach Molnaric over there really say anything. And the free throw no good. He hasn't had much to say. His team's playing really, really well here in this first half.
Yeah, Bergan's been solid this first half. Both ends of the floor. Been most impressed with their transition game, both offensively and defensively. They've been able to score in that fast break situation, and they've also done a nice job when Pender's had their opportunities of flying back and making it very difficult for Pender to score.
Pender is struggling at the free throw line right now as well. And neither one of those is going to find its home right now. Pender 5 of 10 from the free throw line. Can't play for the last shot. As you can see, there's about a 5-second differential there. Can Pender get a stop? Or will Bergan get that bucket at the end of the quarter like they did in the first? Right out there, Reese Heineman driving by, kicking it off, offensive foul. Charge called. Now Pender will get Trimble, their leading scorer, back in there. So each team has had a charge called on him here in the first half.
That's going to go on Mooney. That's his third, so that'll be something to watch in the second half.
Something Coach Molnaric did not want to see.
Yeah, especially with 12 seconds to go in the half.
Yeah. You're not even thinking offensive fouls. All right, last chance here for Pender. Stutter dribble up top. Welsh. He's really trying to hand off, and too much contact. He's going to get free throws, wave off that bucket. Hanging on him, Nolan Paulson. If he'd have done the old Oscar flop there, he might have got a push off on Welsh, but you can definitely tell they were hanging on each other. Even before that highlight or replay, free throw is good. 3 seconds to go here in the quarter. Plenty of time for Bergan to get to half court. Somebody at some point is going to hit one this week. Second free throw good.
I agree with you there.
Had one in the girls' game. And the ball stolen at the horn. Oh! How about that? And it looks like maybe Xander Welsh says, my jersey's ripped. If I'm the coach, I'm saying keep playing with it. Nice play.
What a smart play. Heady play to get that steal and then to knock it down before the buzzer.
Little 4-0 run. We're all set for a half quarter. The next thing you know, Xander, bang, boom, and the 16-point deficit is down to 10 with a nice little ending there in the last 5 seconds. So at the half in this C2 quarterfinal, it's Bergan 38 and Pender 28 on News Channel Nebraska.
And his name is Asaya. I am an international student from Malawi. When I got here, I was in a relationship and we found out that I was pregnant. So I chose life. And that's a really good thing in my life because then God also did great things. And yeah, we're making it in life together.
Pregnant and unsure where to turn? Contact Christian Family Care, cfcare.org.
Ashoff Construction of Osmond does it all when it comes to general contracting. From agricultural storage buildings to commercial office buildings, retail warehouses to concrete contracting. The AGI Sentinel buildings help safeguard crops and valuable assets, and Ashoff's professional builders handle the job from the design through the completion of the build. For a free estimate, contact Bill and Bryce, Scott Pullman, or Brandon Rookie. Call 402-748-3551 today. Visit AshoffConstruction.com for more information.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Lincoln Airport Authority. Fly easy, fly local, fly LNK. Bernard Real Estate and Auction Company in Auburn and Nebraska City. And by Larson Motors in Nebraska City. Find your new Chevrolet, GMC, Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram today at LarsonMotorGroup.com.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
Our halftime show is brought to you by RMB Construction and by Nebraska Farm Bureau.
All right, the Pendragon dance team is out there performing at halftime, and their boys performing very well in their first attempt at state since 1992. Doug and Lou with you here at halftime, brought to you by RMV Construction, located Kearney and Lincoln. And Lou, I think the one thing, as well as Bergan has played here in this first half, they have not put away Pender.
Yeah, Pender's hanging around, and what a momentum swing that was for Xander Welsh, and get that steal, and not only get the steal, but the score right at the end of the half, 4-point run there, kind of put him right back in the game. You love going into the locker room with that sort of momentum. We'll see if they can sustain that here to start the third quarter, but a nice end of the half for the Pendragons.
Take a look, field goal percentage 52% to 38% right now, 78% to 58% there on the free throws, three-point shooting 56 to 38. So overall, Pender is shooting the basketball better on almost the exact same attempts out there. Turnovers have kind of evened themselves out. Bergan moving the ball around with those 9 assists. And for what we saw early on from Gavin Baker, give Pender credit.
Yeah.
There's only one difference in the rebounds, and that's a win for Pender.
Yeah, no question about it. Baker only has 5 points, despite having a real size advantage inside. Well, one thing that's worked well for Bergan is Baker passing out of that double team. They found some three-point shots, and it's also allowed Lenaric to have a nice half. He's got 8 points, 4 shooting in that first half. So all that attention to Baker, it just allows other players. This is a quality team. It allows other players those opportunities to score.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our halftime highlights, brought to you by Sauter-Heyman Jewelers. Stunning engagement collections, exceptional diamonds, and dazzling gemstones can be found at their Lincoln and Grand Island locations. Well, right off the get-go, the big man Baker, who is most likely going to go to Omaha to play basketball, puts one off the glass, and then here is the three-point shooting of Sheets. He hit 3 in the first quarter, and Kale able to do a great job. So they got inside, outside, Baker inside, Sheets outside, but Pender says, all right, we're down 7. Let's get back into this ball game. Trevor Trimble knocks down the three-pointer. And then there is the little, oops, I thought you were going to drive, and then sticking it down is Gavin Dean. But here he is at the buzzer in the first quarter. Sheets knocks it down as they are alertly paying attention. And then what happens here in the second quarter? Bam, nothing but net. So that 2-point lead went to 8 in a heck of a hurry there, Lou.
Yeah, absolutely did. Good shooting there from Archbishop Bergan.
But trying to stay in it, three-pointer, knocked down again. Those have been important for both teams as Carter Hansen drains that one and gets the timeout out of the deal. And here's our man again. Sheets keeps banging home threes. He is 4 of 7 from downtown. He's not actually made one of a two-pointer. It's all threes so far in a free throw in this basketball game. And then how about that play right there to end the quarter? Made 2 free throws. Bergan tried to get it in quickly and step it in front. Xander Welsh made the steal and knocked it down. So that is a look at our halftime highlights, and let's find out a little bit more about what's going on with a couple of special guests. We throw it over to Kayla.
News Channel Nebraska, Archbishop Bergan on top of Pender right now by 10 points. Well, the Pendragon boys have not been to state very often. 34 years ago was their last trip. What's interesting about them is that in the last 3 years, they had 63 wins. 12 years prior to that, 63 wins. The girls, though, 4 straight state titles. We've got Hadley Walsh, Maddie Dolliver. Ladies, thanks for joining us. You were just here a week ago. First of all, Hadley, what's it like to win a state title 4 straight times?
It's just such an amazing feeling, and to do it with some of your best friends is just so awesome. It's still like so surreal. I'm super excited. I know my teammates are, and I'm just excited to be here now to support the boys.
Maddie, is it any different from year 1 to year 4 when it comes to cutting down the nets?
I mean, same great feeling, but, you know, knowing that Hadley and I are done after this year is definitely a little bit sad, and I know both of us are going to miss it, but hand it off to some of those girls, and I'm super excited to see how they do next year.
Well, and you two are both going to be playing at the next level as well. So, Hadley, where are you playing at?
Fort Hays State.
How excited are you?
I'm super excited. They're a great group of girls, great coaches, so it'll be so fun.
And, Maddie, I think you know a little someone who's also playing at where you're headed. Where are you going?
I'm going to Sioux Falls, and yes, my sister plays there, so I'm super excited to join her and kind of follow in her path.
My last question for you two, how surreal is it to watch the boys when you've been here year after year after year and they're supporting you, now it's roles reversed?
It's so awesome. Pender, it's so good to be out here as a community to support Pender and everything they do, and I'm just super happy for our boys. Yeah, I'm so happy for them. I mean, I know they were pretty excited. During our celebration to go down to state, we were actually watching their game, cheering them on, hoping that they would make it, and being here. I mean, it's weird, but I'm happy for them. I'm so happy for them.
Well, hey, cheer loud. Big second half, all right?
Yep.
Awesome. Hadley Walsh, Maddie Dolliver, thanks for joining us. 4 straight state championships on the girls' side. We'll see how the Pender boys can do against Bergan in the second half on News Channel Nebraska.
My name's Elizabeth Gazer. My grandma's brother had liver cancer, and he was praying that God would help him get through this hard time, and we were told that he was not going to last very long, and so instead of doing our family game night, we decided to do the rosary, and he passed away while we were saying the rosary. I was so happy that God was able to give us that time to pray for him.
Visit with your local priest or pastor. A simple conversation can be the first step to discover the peace that comes from faith.
Big ideas, bold graphics, quality products you're proud to wear. That is Custom Sports. Custom Sports, custom graphics, quality products, and timely service you can count on.
Here at halftime, 38-28, Bergan leading Pender. And our halftime show is brought to you by RMV Construction. If you have a construction project that needs built, RMV Construction is the company you need to call. RMV Construction has proudly constructed more than 50 WIC buildings across the state, including this one just north of Amherst. WIC buildings are post-frame, pre-engineered metal building systems made with better materials for a better building. RMV Construction, helping you expand your ag operation, creating your next barn dominium, or develop commercial space by constructing a WIC building with unmatched durability, energy efficiency, and design flexibility. RMV Construction, with offices in Kearney and Lincoln, trusted, local, and of course, proven. RMV Construction. And there's a lot of ways to follow along with what we're doing here at News Channel Nebraska. We're up on X, we're up on NCN Sports on Facebook. You can follow us on YouTube. There we are at NCN Sports. So many ways. I know you have all of those, Lou.
Oh, every single one of them.
So follow along, folks, and keep up to date on what else is going on. By the way, Lincoln High has just taken a 40-28 lead over Omaha West Side at the start of the second half. And let's find out what the coaches had to say. Kaylin, standing by.
Well, heading into the locker room, I was able to catch Andy Welsh, head coach of the Pender Pendragons, and the first thing he said to me was, our goal was to survive the first quarter. And hey, we did that. We got to keep on executing. Let's hit some of these shots and find a way to get Baker in some foul trouble. We need to get him in a little bit of trouble there while we do our thing and see if we can battle. Can we fight? That's the goal for Pender. Now, I also got to stop by and talk to Ryan Molnaric when they came out of the locker room. First thing he said to me was, we've got to execute. We are getting killed on the glass right now. Find a way to rebound, do our thing, clean it up, and see if we can battle back and really take control of this game. Send it back to our two guys that are doing a great job here today. Doug Duda, Lou Siefker on NCN.
All right. can't lie with what he had to say over there. Watch the fouls and try and stay in it. Keep battling in there and do what the coaches say it all the time. Do what we practice to do. Play our game, do our deal.
Yeah, you know, with the way Pender played that first half, I think they did some good things. They stayed with Archbishop Bergan. You saw a player like Welsh that made the heady play to get that steal at the end of the half and score, give them a little bit of momentum. I think in the second half, the problem with playing Archbishop Bergan is they leave you so little room for error. You can't have a lot of turnovers. You can't leave points out there. You got to make free throws. That's going to be big. They missed, I think they were 7 to 12 from the line here in the first half. So Pender's got to really be efficient, play well on the offensive end, and certainly I think they did a decent job defensively. The transition game is what really hurt Pender from Archbishop Bergan.
Well, we are ready to get the second half underway. Doug Doodaloo and Kaylin all part of the coverage here today, and we will keep you up to date on what else has been going on here at the state tournament. But can Pender finish the second strong and start the third? Nope. That would have been kind of ironic because that's exactly what Bergan did. They're going to get another chance here, though, on a travel here against Bergan. Lincoln High, a shocking result. They are beating Omaha Westside. That is the 8-1 matchup, 44-28 early in the third quarter there. That's the first game in Class A. As we said earlier here, UTAN 61-40 over Exeter Milligan Friend. And then North Bend was up 13-0. Norfolk Catholic down 13-0 after one. And they came back and won it 48-40. A little contact inside, can't finish. And Bergan will head the other way. We've also finished up one part of D2. Elgin Public Pope John avoided the upset, holding off Pleasanton 46-44. And Guardian Angels holding off Deschler 54-50 as that comes down to the wire. Both of those D2 games came down to the final 10 seconds of the contest. Nearly a couple of upsets. Instead, the favorites move on. And at the line here, Gavin Baker, and again, trying to establish him right off the first possession, Lou.
Yeah, I think they won. He averages 21 points a game, almost 22 points a game. I think they wanted him to be a little more selfish in this half and really look for his shot. You certainly saw it there, drew that foul as he took the ball into the lane.
Yeah, only had 5 points in the first half. Second free throw is good. But if Sheets is going to keep knocking down threes, I guess three is better than two, right?
Yeah, they worked it well, though, out of those double teams. He didn't have to score a lot in that first half.
All right, Pender with the basketball. And I think one thing, guys, you want to keep an eye on, Xander Welsh is now wearing number 55, not 25. So Xander Welsh, remember when he left at halftime, says my jersey's ripped. So he switched jerseys out there. Xander Welsh now wearing number 55 here for Pender.
Either it was bad fabric or a very physical game. I'm not quite sure. Can't get your jersey ripped.
You think I didn't get fouled? Let me show you. All right, Bergan getting right after it again. Ooh, good recovery. Good recovery down there by Ryan Kruger. And remember, just because you throw it off a guy's leg doesn't mean it was a kick. And that's why that was not a kick. It was a bounce pass that went off the leg, turned into a turnover and a transition layup here for Pender.
Love Trimble attacking the basket with Baker in his way. He was able to shoot the ball over the top of him.
Man, it's physical down there. So that's why they pull Baker out, try to get him off the double team. And always that body push. Good hanging down there, Welsh. Shot clock down to 12. That hasn't usually been a problem from Bergan. That'll be the second time it's been in single digits. Turnaround jumper, and here's a dagger. Wow. Trey Mooney. My, oh my. You play such great defense.
Yeah.
And he hits a tough shot.
Shot that right in Trevor Kimball's face.
Pender trying to find a way to get this to single digits. And even though they are scoring, so's Bergan right back at him. Yeah, you can see that a little more activity here, trying to get something going on the baseline is Kruger. He's been quieted, obviously. Reverse layup, deflected out of there, nowhere to go for Hansen. And Bergan throws up another good defensive stop. And this is where we've been playing, basically between 10 and 16 since the start of that second quarter when Bergan went on an 8-0 run.
Pender doing a pretty good job switching off those pick and rolls.
Down to the big man again to the finger roll. Oh, it just got robbed on that one, but there it is, the offensive putback. And Menard, they're doubling down on Baker. They're trying to give help. That's going to leave somebody open, and Trent's been rolling off, and he's got a couple 3 offensive putbacks in this basketball game. Fadeaway jumper, again, a tough shot. Pender taking a couple of 3 tough shots here in their last 3 possessions. Fast break. Ooh. Was Baker going to try and stuff it and got hit by the rim, or did he just not get a good jump and got hit by the rim?
Forced that one in.
Yeah, timeout on the floor here. Pender's going to try and fix some things here in the next 30 seconds. 4:31 to go in the third quarter. 44-30. And it still goes for 2. Bergan on top here on NCN.
From the heart of Nebraska to across the state, RMV Construction is building more than just structures. We're building trust. RMV Construction has grown from humble beginnings to become a trusted name across central Nebraska and beyond. With unmatched craftsmanship, cutting-edge innovation, and an unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction, we deliver projects on time, on budget, and above expectations. Trusted, local, proven. RMV Construction in Kearney and Lincoln. Let's build your vision together.
My name is Grace Mahoney. My grandpa, he had to have heart surgery, but his kidneys weren't strong enough for it, so they put him on hospice. Anyway, it was like a couple of weeks and nothing was happening, and so he went back and just somehow his kidneys were stronger, and so they went ahead with the heart surgery, and I'm really grateful for it all because it brought all my family back, and it was definitely a miraculous situation.
Visit with your local priest or pastor. A simple conversation can be the first step to discover the...
All right, let's see what Pender can draw up out of the timeout. Maybe help keep it going. Trimble kicks it out. 3-pointer all the way around and out. No good. And those are the ones that usually determine momentum in a ball game. Not necessarily win or lose, but momentum. That was so close to going down. Now Bergan up 16 can take their biggest lead of the game.
Pender needed to score on that possession.
The Sheets, well, same thing. Turnabout, fair play. Shouldn't be any dust on the inside of the rims on either side now after those 2 shots. And Dragons up top, looking for their first ever state tournament win. Oh. Got away with one, but didn't make it. So now the other way, and the transition layup.
Yep, there you
for
go.
Dale Sheets.
Bergan's so good in that transition game. They beat you down the floor, and they get real quality looks.
Pender only 2 in the quarter, and it seems like they're starting to force some shots here, Lou.
Yep.
And it's right into the play here. Yeah, shoving the backhand one. Little arm bar there to make sure that Baker didn't go up and tomahawk chop that thing. Foul on Trimble. And just like it went from 2 to 10, it just went from 12 to 20.
That's a good job by Mlinaric here to look back and find Baker running the floor. And get the big fella, the basketball, gets a chance for the 3-point play. Yeah, you're right, Doug. This has been a big swing here in favor of Archbishop Bergan, and game's starting to get away from Pender.
Well, and again, I think there's some discrepancy on where that foul probably should have been called. They call that on Trimble, but he was not the one that gave him the forearm shiver, so it was a foul nonetheless. So Pender down, one of their top 2 scorers with foul trouble. Trying to shake the defense. 3 in the corner, no good. Long rebound. And Bergan now, everything going their way. 13-2 here in the third quarter in favor of the Knights, and they lead it by 21. Pender's going to keep battling out there. There's a nice steal at the top of the key. Geyser hands it off, and then look at the shot you had to take because of the big man Baker, and they are so far unable to score. Now they'll call a foul. How do you change the game when you're a big man like that? He just showed you numerous times. I got to throw it over the extended reach here.
Now, Baker, he's what I call a decision changer. When you take that ball in there and you see him, even if you decide not to shoot it, sometimes you change the way you do shoot it. You end up fading away or changing your shot. So even if he doesn't get his hand on the basketball, he changes the way you play offensively.
See some of the scores from earlier today here at the state tournament. Hope you're enjoying those. And the free throw is good. And thanks so many of our fine sponsors like Medica. With the Medica Health Plan, you're not just covered, you're cared for. And that ball deflected off the miss three all the way out top. And Reese Heineman says, let's see if we can do something with it here. But Pender with just 3 points in the quarter when they needed it to be the other way around. And Bergan showing you why they're the defending state champs, why they're number one. Pender starting to get Baker out of the paint. A little surprised here, and it might be happening right here, that they bring Baker over for a breather. He has played almost every minute of this basketball game. And with a 20-point lead, you can afford to give him a blow before the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think that's coming. I agree with you. Well, maybe not. I like what Hansen did there, though. I mean, he's been the three-point shooting specialist so far in this ball game, but get in. You just got to put points on the board now. You got to go possession by possession. Can't worry about the scoreboard. You just got to win every possession at this point for Pender.
Maybe they're just leaving Baker out there with the mellow yellow shoes. Follow me in case of darkness. I will lead you to the promised land. As Paulson slaps one away.
I think you can direct airplanes with those shoes.
All right, Bergan basketball down to the 2-minute mark here. Comfortable. And he's going to try the three. Just because everybody, even big men, like to shoot the three, but they get the offensive rebound and get to do it again. In the paint, another tough turnaround jumper. That time comes up short. Baker's going to get called for over the back. So Baker's been okay. That'll be his first foul of the basketball game, so he can afford to take those chances.
Baker, he's had been planning to go to UNO to study engineering, right? Engineering, and they've talked him in. It sounds like they've talked him into playing some basketball there. That's a good move.
All right, rebound brought down. Bergan off the miss. 51-33. Three-pointer right corner is good. Getting into the act is Nolan Paulson. That'll be his first bucket of the ball game. As we said, Bergan averages 67 a ball game. They're well on that pace. What does Pender elect to do here? Do they just fire from three, or they keep working their offense as that ball is deflected out of bounds off of the Knights?
You mentioned Baker going to school for engineering. I was going to take engineering until they told me you have to be smart to do this. And so I don't qualify.
Which class? I can't even spell it. How can I take it? Good pass down to the baseline, but just nowhere to go for Schuster as Welsh continues to get things done, and now finding the bucket. Under a minute to go. Bergan basketball. Baker, he really wants a shot. He's going to force his way in there and not get bailed out on the foul. He was 1-on-3. They didn't bail him out. So now he's not in the lane. And a floater from the left baseline, no good. Baker not in there, and they didn't take it at the rack. Sometimes you just don't think about those things because you're just so used to him being in there.
You have to be aware of what the defense is doing, try to take advantage of it. If Baker's out of there, you've got to drive into the lane and make things happen.
Well, Molnarek sees some room. Now comes down the middle of the lane. There was a grab of his arm before he boat raced Xander Welsh. And so would have been a charge, but right here.
Yeah, the grab there kind of bailed Baker out because that very easily could have been a charge.
Wasn't much of one. It looked like a foul from where the official was, that he was hooking his arm, but not much. And here he comes again. The layup good. Gavin Baker now with 14, 9 here in the quarter. Pender trying to score the last bucket here in the third quarter. Fadeaway jumper. Well, that's how Baker affects you. It goes behind the backboard. And it's all Bergan dominating this third quarter of play as they were able to outscore Pender 18-7. And after three, it's Bergan 56, Pender 35. Knocking down shots again. You're watching the stage.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Western Oil. Make your first and last stop to and from the game at your nearest Speedy Mart or Good to Go convenience stores today. Bank of the Valley, together we go further. And by Scotty's Ranchland Foods, Highway 20 in Valentine, Nebraska.
More than 1,900. Yes, our general surgeons, including Dr. Ryan Gary in Norfolk, performed more than 1,900 colonoscopies last year, helping to keep our community healthy. A colonoscopy is a simple, safe, quick, painless, and one of the most effective ways to prevent colon cancer. If you're age 45 or have a family history, it's time to schedule. Call the Yankton Medical Clinic Norfolk office at 402-844-8110. Colonoscopy screenings are one more way the Yankton Medical Clinic Norfolk location offers so much care, so close to home.
My family's been farming since the early 1900s, and it's still where we like to call home. I get to go out to the field. I get to see farmers. When they have someone that actually experienced it, they're more willing to open up and talk to you a lot more. They just kind of become a part of you.
Well, we head to the fourth quarter in our third C2 quarterfinal. Again, all the games from Devaney today and tomorrow and from Pinnacle Bank Friday, right here on News Channel Nebraska Television. Doug Lou, and see how Pender starts this fourth quarter. They're going to have to start it hot, and you can't start any hotter than 101 from Carter Hansen.
Hansen's been real positive offensively today for Pender.
Right now, Pender is 12 of 42 from the field for 28.5%. Bergan still shooting over 50%. They're 20 of 38, nearly 53%.
53% from the field, 46 from three, and 83 from the free throw line.
Well, there's the steal up ahead again to Welsh, and they're going to call that a clean deflection away.
Good recovery there by Sheets to prevent that fast break opportunity for Pender.
Pender's done that 3 or 4 times. They'll get the bucket, get a steal, and finish it, but just not enough of those to string together for a 6, 8, 10-point run. And Bergan has done that a couple of times, go on 8 or 10-point runs. Well, there's the fadeaway. Won't go. Xander Welsh thought, why not? And for Bergan, how much will they take the air out of the basketball here this early in the fourth quarter? Gets it down to the baseline. Ball fake and another layup as they drag them out. And Molnaric has another bucket down low. So Sheets 16, Baker 14, Mooney and Molnaric with 10 points apiece. Baseline jumper, too strong. Just not much of a fun game for Kruger today. 14 points for Hansen, 10 for Welsh, 9 for Trimble for Pender.
Well, I think if you've seen what makes Bergan so good, this is a really good team. You got a superstar in Baker, but there's a lot of guys on this team that can score.
And they continue to play with a pretty young basketball team.
Yeah. Baker, the only senior that's really in the rotation.
There's no doubt. And again, we talked about it. This is a school that sometimes has been down here in the D1 state tournament. Baker with the assist and one. Send Molnaric to the line for an and one. Watch the replay brought to you by Lincoln Airport. Fly easy, fly local, fly LNK. You can book now at LincolnAirport.com. LincolnAirport.com.
Just mentioned 4 guys in double figures. Just spread out the wealth. Molnaric having a nice ball game.
He has made everything he has shot. 7 of 7 from the field. Misses the free throw, and what does that do? Leads to 2 more points on the offensive putback and a 25-point lead here.
And nobody boxing Baker out. He's just too good.
Welsh for 3. Nope. Over the top rebound. Another 3. Nope. And Pender, unfortunately, now has been taken out of their game as the ball goes out of bounds. Our fourth quarter of the state tournament game is brought to you by National Land Realty. Find land for sale at nationalland.com. Nationalland.com.
Going back to what we talked about with Bergan, it's just you can't overestimate the amount of experience this team had from a year ago. What a great pass there to Baker along the baseline. But this team's been here, done that. They've won a state championship, and you can see it right now. They play so well together.
Now you're in a situation, what do you do health-wise? You get the day off tomorrow. You're not playing 3 straight days. They flip-flop those every year. under the format we just got adopted as the foul's called. So some of these schools, I mean, it's not a long trip home to Fremont. So swing it back home, go to school, go to practice, and then get back here on Friday for a semifinal at 3:15 here at the Devaney against the winner of our next game, Valentine and Freeman. Still 5:40 to go here. They're stepping around Baker, and a nice move by Carter Hansen.
Hansen with that left-handed finish. Impressive move.
64-39, Hansen. And this Pender Pendragon team, since they've done something nobody's done in 34 years, they want to stay out there and play the full 32. Three-pointer good. Trey Mooney, they just won't give any resemblance of existence here to this Pendragon team. Every time Pender kind of does something, then this is what happens. Bergan nails a three, steals the basketball, finishes it off. Sheets on transition. Mooney with the assist. And boy,
they run the floor, Doug. That's just so impressive.
Yeah, 10 at half to 30 right now. 69-39. 4:55 to go in the ball game. And what a nice play. 3-on-1 and the easy two. We'll be back with more on NCN in a moment.
My name is Andrina, and his name is Asaya. I am an international student from Malawi. When I got here, I was in a relationship, and we found out that I was pregnant. So I chose life, and that's a really good thing in my life, because then God also did great things. And yeah, we're making it in life together.
Pregnant and unsure where to turn? Contact Christian Family Care, cfcare.org.
We are back to action here as this one is no longer in doubt. Hasn't been for a while after that dominant third quarter. Three-pointer Welsh off the iron. Boy, that was the time for the air ball because Heinemann was ready to go up and put it away. 69-39. Don't forget, at the end of the ball game, our player of the game brought to you by Nebraska Orthopedic Center, your healing destination. And Bergan's had a well-rounded day out there. Ooh. A little lowering, a little shove off. They are going to call the foul. Heinemann takes it in strong.
Good physical play by Heinemann. We'll see it here on the replay. Dips that shoulder a little bit. Boy, that could have been a charge.
Cruz was off balance. Is that the way we say that nicely? And here he comes. Gavin Baker checking out. Should be it for him. 18 points, 8 rebounds in the basketball game. 4 or 5 at the line. There's another bump foul. And Heinemann staying aggressive. Back over in Class A, things have gotten a lot closer. Lincoln High leading Omaha West Side 52-48 in the fourth quarter. But that is the 8 leading the 1. Richie Ross's Lincoln High Lynx making some big-time noise.
Got to cheer for that capital city. It's been a while since Lincoln's had a state champion.
Yes, it has. Long three off the iron, short dribble, and an over-the-back foul on Pender. That's only the second foul of the quarter. 3 have been called on Bergan. See if we end up getting in to foul trouble and shooting some more free throws here in the fourth quarter. The thing about this game is you won't have any problem getting your entire roster in and at least saying they got to play at the state tournament. That's not the way Pender wanted to make it happen, but it is the way it's happening. There's a long-range 3, no good. And Pendragon's with the rebound. Heinemann, against a lot of the second-teamers here from Bergan, takes it in, no good. And a foul underneath. Jackson Luby 6'6" sophomore. He'll be a big part of this basketball team the next couple of years. So you may lose 6'7", but you got 6'6", and Jackson probably going to add a couple more by the time it's all said and done here.
Yeah, hopes to have that size and athleticism, not just size, but guys that can run and jump.
Shot's no good. And we start to see more of the clearing of the bench. And the second free throw, no good. Rebound by Elijah Priner. So Priner's in there, handling the basketball. Paulson, we've seen him. Also new in the ball game, Owen Koenig. Alex Cruz, we talked about him. And the little floater, in and out, no good. And Dragons pull down the rebound. Heineman. Baseball pass to the other end. Welsh keeps the toes in and kicks it back out. 3 minutes to go in the ball game. Nice little spin move, and he's going to get the body contact. 2 free throws will be called here. Something else that's a little different, maybe folks don't know this, from with the NSAA, and it's with the officials. We now have 4 days for girls and boys. They're not necessarily here the whole time, and because of that, they're grading them, but you're not getting graded out to see which state championship game you get. There's some and ifs if you have a conflict, saying, okay, I'm from Norfolk, and so if, blah, blah, if I'm from Fremont, if Bergan makes the finals, I can't do it, but if they don't, then I can do the C2 final. So it's a little bit different than in years past. They already know who's going to be doing those finals. Are they going to call over and back?
10 seconds.
No, they're going to call 10 seconds. And that's what our shot clock says. Also something that I think has helped officials out, because in the history of basketball, the hand clock, the hand wave, it's the slowest thing ever.
Yeah.
It's never been 10 seconds. It was always 12 or 13. Now at the shot clock, you look up and it says 25. Just blow the whistle.
Yeah, it makes it a little easier for the officials.
Dumped into the right-hand corner. Pender trapped. Bergan playing a little more zone floater. Sticking in there as Welsh. 12 points in the game for him. Hansen with 17 to lead the way. Fast break. They want more. How about a 3 from the left wing? No good that time by Redmond. Koenig picks it up. Can't get it to go. So Caden Redmond also getting into the ball game as that ball's dribbled off the foot and shoots out of bounds. And now Pender's going to sub in, but nothing new here. Schuster and Kruger.
Xander Welsh playing hard still. It looks like he's going to come out. He's only junior. He'll be back next year.
Trying to get the seniors on there, maybe to just finish it off, at least for a moment. Here comes Lane Kelly. He's another senior.
We'll get guys out there to have that chance to say they played at the state tournament.
6 seniors, and 5 of them are on the floor right now for Pender. Always like that.
Yep. What a great year for Pender, though. Get back to the state tournament. It didn't go the way they wanted it to, but 22-6. That's a great year especially for these seniors.
That will not fall. And it's something else. I mean, you take a look at the area, and I'm not going to break it down for you right here, but one of the things now that regionalization has done in Class C1 and C2, well, it makes you drive to Kimball. That's one thing. But you're not in that same 5, 6 sub-district or 10, 12 district where maybe you've got a perennial power that goes to state every single year and you just can't get past them. Now you have at least a little bit more of an opportunity. Yeah. Heck, you could get bounced, and we have a team or two that got bounced in the first round of their subs and ended up getting down here to the state tournament. So it happens.
Opens the door for good teams to have that opportunity. And really, you don't see a whole lot of these type of scores anymore. You see a lot of closer ball games. Archbishop Bergan, just a great team. Nothing negative toward Pender. It's just a great team that they played today. And it's going to be a very difficult team to beat here in this tournament is Archbishop Bergan.
Nathan Graver in there for Bergan. For Pender, we've got Brian Godinez has checked in. Owen Hathaway. Braden Alvine. Also coming in there is Tayton Welsh. He might know the coach. And over here is Oliver Eisner. The 5 new faces. 2 minutes to go here in the ball game. Good take on the left baseline, and Alex Cruz gets his. name in the scorebook for 2 points. Postgame coming up next here on NCN, brought to you by Custom Sports. As the steal is made in Bergan, 71 so far in this basketball game. Their highest amount, and they've hit 79 a few times, 88 against Bishop Newman right before the postseason. But boy, they were rolling in the month of February. Long three is off the heel, no good. How about an offensive rebound underneath from Nelson? But that can't control it with that triple team, and back over to the Penn Dragons. Alvin pushes it up on the right wing. So Bergan will improve to 26-1. Pender will end their season at 22-6. Final minute. How about that three-pointer blocked, but out of bounds? Nice play by Graver. Also coming in now for Pender will be Cooper Getchie.
Graver with that block. Another senior for Bergan in this case.
See if we can get Cooper a little bit more filled out in experience. He's got a frame on him for the next 2 years, just a sophomore. 1 minute to go here at the state tournament. Valentine and Freeman will be coming up in about a half an hour as we fill out the C2 field. Tomorrow, C1 and a couple of B1s for you. Shot clock down to 2. Can they get the shot away? Yes, they do, but it's no good. And the rebound brought down by Bergan. Left corner three. Bojanski puts it up. We hadn't called his name yet. Boston getting a chance to fire one up. Didn't go his way. Always root for these guys. See if they can get one to go all the way around and out. No good. Offensive rebound down low. Getchie. No good. Partially blocked in there by Graver. And Bergan looks like they're going to go ahead and maybe just dribble this one out.
And dribble it out. This Bergan team is for real. I mean, they have size. They have athletic ability. They got the star power. They shoot the ball well. There's very few weaknesses on this for this Knights team.
Well, Bergan limits Pender to 15 points in the second half while putting up 33 themselves. 38-28 at the half, and the final score is Bergan 71 and Pender 43. We'll be back with the Custom Sports postgame show. A look at the final stats, and we'll hear from the victorious coach and one of the players of the game right after this on News Channel Nebraska Television.
Kearney, Nebraska is the getaway you never knew you needed. With comfortable, premium lodging, eclectic shopping, and a variety of locally owned craft food and drink options, Kearney has something for everyone. By day, you'll find rich history, outdoor adventure, and some of America's most unique attractions. And by night, our many entertainment options, dazzling performances, and unique hangouts offer the perfect way to unwind. Visit Kearney. It's so much more than just in the middle.
Hello, this is Greg from Family Physical Therapy. We've grown a lot since we opened our doors in 1993, but our philosophy remains to provide excellent patient care above all else. Our patients are greeted with smiles, and our therapists are driven by their patients' success and achieving goals. We provide physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy to those of all ages. Family Physical Therapy has locations across Nebraska. Stop by a clinic near you today.
Anne has been a long-time UBT customer. One day, she was being scammed. We secured her funds and got her set up with new accounts. I just think, if my grandma was in that situation, what would I want someone to do for her?
I hope he doesn't mind that I give him a hug, too.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Auto Central in Kearney. From cost-effective daily drivers to luxury cars that match your style, Auto Central is sure to have the ride you're looking for. Ignite the fire and find peace. And by Union Bank and Trust. Your money has people. From the heart of Nebraska to across the state, RMV Construction is building more than just structures. We're building trust. RMV Construction has grown from humble beginnings to become a trusted name across central Nebraska and beyond. With unmatched craftsmanship, cutting-edge innovation, and an unwavering commitment to customer satisfaction, we deliver projects on time, on budget, and above expectations. Trusted, local, proven. RMV Construction in Kearney and Lincoln. Let's build your vision together.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs. all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
Well, Bergan back in the semifinals here with head coach Ryan Molnarek. Coach, first of all, getting to state tournament last year, winning it all as the 8th seed, is it any different coming back this season?
Oh, I mean, absolutely, it's different. I mean, it's we enjoy being here. It's exciting being here. You still have those butterflies, but we're in a completely different role this year. I mean, last year I don't think anybody knew about us. We rolled in with a bunch of sophomores and a junior, no seniors. And we flew under the radar and played our best basketball towards the end of the year and ended up winning a championship. This year, we got the bullseye on our back. You know, it's a completely different role, but we're prepared. We're ready for this. We're ready to have this on our shoulders. We go through a tough conference. So, you know, it was a tough night tonight, but found a way to really get better that second half. And step one is complete, you know, and hopefully we'll be better next game, which is up in 2 days.
Coach, you guys were up by 10 in that first half, but the first thing you told me out of the break was that you needed to execute better. I would say you did. What was the biggest thing that really helped in the second half?
Well, you know, early, the first couple of possessions, we didn't. I mean, we would rebound, and they would swipe it from us. We'd put it on the floor, and we had, like, our first 3 possessions. I think we had 3 turnovers there in the second half, but after that, we got more solid. We pounded the ball harder. We were able to get it into the lane to Baker. I think he had like 5 points the first half, and then Gavin ended up with 18. But, you know, it's the same thing. It's always going to be tough for him. That's what teams are going to do. They're going to do everything they can to make it difficult. And he's just such an even-keeled guy. He doesn't get too worked up about things. He impacts games in other ways than just scoring. And he ended up getting opportunities to finish in the lane, and I think he ended up with 18. So it was good for him to be patient, but that's what he does night in and night out for us.
Well, tell me, what are you going to have to do to get back to the state championship game? You'll play again on Friday, and how big is a guy like Gavin Baker going to help you out there?
You know, I think the simple things. I mean, you got to defend and rebound. I mean, to advance down here in Lincoln, you got to defend, you got to guard, you got to make them make tough shots, body on body twos, and you got to finish it with rebounding. And that's what we tell our guys. The offense will come. You focus on defending and rebounding, and the offense will come. So that's going to be our focus to advance.
Head coach Ryan Molnarek of Bergan, you guys moving on to the semis again. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, let's bring in Gavin Baker. Gavin, hey, great job today, man. 18-8, just towering over everybody. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. We had a good dominant win right there, so feeling pretty good about it.
All right, that first half, you weren't as involved as you'd have liked to have been. Tell me what switched from half number 1 to half number 2?
We really brought our defense, and because they were hard on us at the beginning of the game, so then we had to pick it up on our defensive end, which brought the offense, which made me able to open up on the offensive side.
Gavin, you guys were here last year as the underdog. Has the mentality changed for you as a player, or is it stayed the same?
It's pretty much stayed the same. Just go out there, play as hard as we can, hopefully get the win.
How much do you love your teammates?
Oh, I love them a lot. We built great team chemistry throughout the years. I've been playing with them since around 3rd grade. So, I mean, it just means the world being down here with them.
What will you have to do as a player, Gavin, to get back to the state championship and cut down the nets for the 2nd straight year?
Bring the defense as hard as we can, bring the effort as much as we can, and pretty much just play as hard for as long as we have to.
Fantastic. Gavin Baker of Bergan Catholic. Gavin, congratulations. Good luck Friday, man. Bergan Catholic moving back to the semifinals yet again. Stay tuned on News Channel Nebraska for postgame and top plays.
All right, I'm John Stewart. I served almost 27 years in the Air Force. After I retired, I became very ill from Agent Orange exposure, and I lost everything we owned. One night, I sat there and practiced with a shotgun to kill myself. I said, well, I can't do this to my wife. So I went and got help, and as years passed, I became an ordained minister, and I work with veterans and trying to help people and get them to help others too.
If anxiety, addiction, or hopeless thoughts feel overwhelming, text HOME to 741-741 for support.
And welcome back to NCN's coverage of the state high school basketball tournament. Bergan 71, Pender 43. Let's take a look at our post-game highlights. Man, what a job we saw here in the second half. But in the first half, they were able to kind of stay with each other as Pender, hoping that their girls' success would rub off here on the boys, making their first trip to state since 1992. And Bergan hit some threes early in this basketball game. Pender worked hard and ended up staying even on the boards in the second quarter. But the hot hand early was right here, Cale Sheets. First of his 3 threes in the first quarter of play. And when it wasn't outside, here's our player of the game, Baker, getting the board and the bucket. 11-4, an early 7-point lead, but we come right back at it. And Pender is going to drop down back-to-back buckets, led here by Trevor Trimble. And there's the end of the second quarter. 3-pointer for Cale Sheets to start the second quarter. How about we do it again? And that really set the tone for the rest of the half. And eventually this basketball game, it went from 2 to 8. And then you see Baker with one of his blocked shots, still trying to hang in it from three-point land. Knocking one down is Carter Hansen. 38-26, and right at the halftime buzzer, after making free throws, going in to steal it was Xander Welsh, and he must have lost some of his Superman powers in the jersey switch there because it was damaged, and he had to go change his jerseys. And even though we got a nice start there to the second half from Trevor Trimble, there wasn't much more after that. The whole third quarter belonged to Bergan. They took this from 10 to 21 and just continued to add on. If you needed a three, call Sheets, and Noah Paulson says, okay, it looks easy enough from this wing, I'll continue to do it. Moving to the fourth quarter and down by 21, trying to get something started here with the baseline jumper from Carter Hansen, but there just wasn't enough of it. Good passing again here by the big man of Bergan, and finishing it off, good 1-2 combination there by Mulnerick and Baker. And Bergan just went on a huge run and went from 20 to 30 points and went on to put this basketball game away. So Bergan, as we said at halftime, Lou, they were doing everything so right and only had 10, and they continue to do everything so right. And as we look at the final stats, they win it by 28.
Give credit for Pender for hanging around that first half, but Archbishop Bergan, when they're playing well, I think they're the best team in this Class C2 tournament, and they certainly showed it the second half. Really kind of pulled away there from Pender, and this is, like I said before, it's a team that's got it all. There's very few weaknesses that you can find when you're playing the Knights.
For some weakness last week in shooting the basketball early today. Not today from Bergan, 52% from the field. Well, that's going to wrap things up for this portion of today's broadcast. We'll take a quick break and get things turned around as Valentine and Freeman will play the final game of the Class C2 quarterfinals. Valentine hasn't been here in 22 years. We'll see if their Bebop boys can make some noise. It's all coming up here on NCN.